Hey everyone, I'm Ben Townley from 101 Adventures, Yamaha New Zealand Ambassador, and 101 Adventures runs the Yamaha Adventure Ride annually for Yamaha Adventure Riding customers. So I want to tell you a little bit about my Tenere and the upgrades that I've done with MotoSR and Scotty and his team there. I guess I met Scotty early on in my adventure riding career, I guess you call it, and it's obvious he's got a lot of passion for it and valuable experience as well that he's been able to put into these bikes and the setups that he's done for the Teneres. And I had a ride on his one. I don't often ride other bikes or other riders' bikes. I like my own setup, and I'd done about probably 10,000 kilometres on my bike standard, and finally jumped on Scotty's to have a ride, and I couldn't believe the difference. So I said to Scotty, it's time we upgraded my Tenere, and here we are today. I just want to share some of my experience of it and how it feels underneath me when I'm riding it. I guess I feel the Tenere genuinely is a great starting package. I rode, like I said, 10,000 Ks or so on this bike and more on a previous bike before this one, and it wasn't until I rode Scotty's and I was like, wow, this is a major upgrade. I think that one of the biggest things for me is I ride a lot of gravel, and I love riding the gravel, and the corrugation for me, this setup here just makes the bike feel that much more plush. That was the first thing that stood out to me, and I ride it pretty hard. I tend to drive in pretty deep into the corners, especially on the gravel, and what I found is it was a lot less pitching under brakes, so I wouldn't dive and get too low on the front end. And once I came off the brakes, and I steer a lot with the rear as I accelerate, it didn't then pitch the opposite direction. So just across the board on the gravel, I felt like it was a lot more of a balanced package, and definitely a lot more predictable. That's one thing that stood out to me. I like to have a good feeling underneath me as a package with the bike, and this just improved my entire experience riding on the gravel. Obviously, coming from a moto background, I love riding off-road, and one of the biggest things, I probably didn't ride this bike to its potential off-road until I upgraded to this package, and that's one major factor of riding bush tracks and just riding on that general off-road terrain. If you're looking to really get adventurous, this does give you a lot more confidence in those scenarios. So yeah, that part of it for me as well, again, is something I didn't realise that I was missing out on too much until I upgraded to the MotoSR package. I guess I'm not much of a road rider, or haven't done until I jumped on the Tenere, and one of the things, as soon as we'd put this package into the bike, I even felt better on the road. Just felt more nimble, and I was able to, especially in the tighter corners on the road, I had more control of the bike, and again, similar to on the gravel, way less pitching. And for me, that's a big part of riding a bike and having the balance coming across from a dirt bike and riding on that road, and just felt like I was able to gain more confidence of my road riding. So just overall, I would say that the biggest thing is the bike just feels way more balanced for me, and that's something that I didn't really notice until I'd actually ridden on Scotty's bike, and then now have that on my bike, and have put another 4,000 kilometres on since, and just loving the feel and that confidence that I get when I ride it with this package. Yeah, so overall, the team at MotoSR, Scotty and his guys, have done an unbelievable job of firstly testing and development, and then able to now personalise that to customers for adventure riding, and especially on these Teneres. So yeah, if you're in the market for some adventure suspension, see the team at MotoSR. A great bunch of guys, and you're going to have a much better experience on your adventure bike. So ride on, pop wheelies.